everybody. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jenny, and today I'm going to talk to you about effective list making. I figure it's January, first of the year, people have goals. Sometimes those goals include being more organized. So I thought this would be a great time of the year to talk about this. I have been a list maker my entire life. I became a list maker in the first grade. And I started a list, and you'll all laugh about this. I started a list of things I won't do to my children when I have them. So, it's all those ways your parents embarrass you or whatever. So, anyway, I started that list, and I kept that list until I had a kid probably. And then I realized that list went out the window, and I've broken almost all but like one of those rules now. But anyway, I've been a list maker from way back, and some people hate the list. I know there are a lot of people now, I've seen YouTube videos where people are like, throw away the to-do list, be more productive, ADHD and lists don't go together, they're not for people with ADHD. Okay, let me tell you a little story. First of all, so my daughter hates the list. She's one of those people. My husband is not a fan of the list. He never uses a list ever. But I'll just explain to you why. I always carry around my notebook, and at one point in time, I got tired of people being annoyed by the notebook. So we were just on the go. My daughter was in basketball, 4-H. We just always had something going on, youth group. And it was just, our lives were crazy for a while. I felt like we were barely keeping our heads above water. So one day, I used to drive a school van route. And on my morning route, I thought, okay, I'm going to go home, and we had the evening off. I thought, I'm gonna go home, I am going to knock it all out, I'm gonna get all this stuff done. When my family comes home, we're gonna have this nice meal cooked, everything, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna relax, and we're gonna catch up and just take a breathing break. So I came home, hit the ground running, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna work better and stay more productive and everything if it smells nice in here. So I went to the closet to get out a wax melt to put in the wax warmer. I get the wax melt out, and I open it up and think, oh, it's gonna take me a while to pick one. Oh, laundry should be started before. I could go ahead and throw in a load of laundry and get that going, and that can be washing while I pick out my wax melt. So I go back to the washer, and I see, oh goodness, there are no hangers back here. So I went to I know what it was. I went and decided, oh, I should gather up the towels from my daughter's bedroom. So I went and gathered up her towels, and while I was in there, I saw, oh my gosh, there's a ton of hangers in here. So I gather up some towels. I gathered up all her empty hangers, and I'm taking them. I thought, well, while I'm going, I might as well gather the empty hangers out of my room. So I throw the empty hangers on the bed, drop the dirty towels on the floor of my bedroom, went to get in my closet, and the light was out. So I thought, okay, back to the coat closet where I keep the light bulbs, and I get the container of light bulbs out. Keep in mind, Scentsy stuff is still out. Start looking through all the light bulbs and realize we don't have the right kind of light bulbs. I'm like, well, I really need to make a list to go to the store. So I go and I start a list, and I put light bulbs on it, and I think, oh shoot, I never did start that laundry. Oh, I'm on the way to the laundry, and I realize, well, I'm not gonna be able to load the dishwasher until the silverware soaks. I should get that going. So I start gathering silverware to soak the silverware. Anyway, this goes on. And before long, I realized I have been home, and I have been moving around and doing things for 45 minutes. The only thing I had succeeded in doing was making like 5 more messes in my house. No laundry was going, no dishes were being washed. The Scentsy, it still wasn't smelling good in here because I had not picked out a wax melt. There are now hangers piled all over my bed, dirty towels on my bedroom floor. I mean, it was ridiculous. And I thought, no, I have to stop. I have to make a list, and I have to focus on doing one thing off of that list. So I just took the time, I sat down, I made a list, and then I became productive. So like for me, I need to focus. I need that thing to see like, okay, I need to be able to mark that off, because when I have that visual of seeing what I've done, because let's face it, what are most people motivated by? You're going to be, the number one motivator is results. Like, if you're not seeing the results, there's no reason to keep doing it. So if I can see that visual, then I know that it's done, because sometimes you can work and like, I still can't tell, like nobody can tell I've done anything. But if I have that visual from my list, like, just because things may not be something that you can see, like you paid a bill or whatever, like if you can see on the list that you've done it and you're accomplishing things and you're moving forward, that just like adds to my motivation. So I sat down and I started making a list. So my number one tip, first tip, is to think of this list in a positive way. Think of it as a list of goals to accomplish in the day. Think of it as, you know, like a visual motivator. Just it's going to keep you organized. It's a tool to keep you organized, to keep you motivated. It is not a bad thing. So just change your attitude about the list if you have a bad attitude about it. The next thing, the number two thing, for you to enjoy your list and like to make lists, something that helps is to choose your type of list. I know a lot of people now are, you know, their lists are all on their phone. I do use my phone for lists. I have like gifts that I've bought for people. I have lists of that. I have like more long-term stuff that I'm going to keep changing and adding to or whatever. Sometimes it's a very short-term list. Like if I need to stop at Walmart for just a few items, then I might put like just short-term lists in my phone and then delete that. But for the most part, I would rather keep it on paper. But if you are a digital format list maker, make sure, two tips with that. One, give it a date, because if it doesn't have a date, it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. You don't have like a goal date to accomplish this by. You don't have, you know, how long ago you made this grocery list. You may forget to delete it, buy the wrong stuff, whatever. So make sure your list has a date and a title. And then also make the kind of list that has like the little circles where you can check it off when it's done or when you purchased it or whatever. So yeah, if you're a digital list maker, make sure it has a date, a title, and use the little things that you can mark things off. So if you're more of a tangible paper type list maker like I am, pick out like, okay, for me, I know a lot of people are big fans of, I think is it Erin Condren, those planners and stuff. And they're great. Like if you can build your own type of planner or to-do list or whatever, a lot of people really, really like those. And that's great. There are whole videos you can watch about these. It's wonderful. I'm pretty simple though. I prefer, you know, notebooks like this. This one's actually a little bit big. It's like maybe more than half a sheet of paper. Yeah, I prefer like half of a regular size piece of paper. Usually I have one that's a little more, I don't know, brighter, vibrant colors. This one was possibly a gift, and that's fine. I love it. Like cheetah print, my nephew has given me a couple of stickers to put on there. I think this is maybe Wonder Woman. He thought it looked like me, so he thought I would want that on my notebook. So that's sweet. But decorate it with stickers. Have Hot Mess Cat Moms Club on here. He's right here with me. Anyway, but just something that you like, something that's visually appealing to you or functionally appealing to you. And I like, I like mine to be lined, but no dates or anything. I like to write that all myself. So when I start a new one, I'll go through and go ahead and I write the date, the day of the week, month, day of the month, year on the top of all of them. So I'm like making my own planner. It does take a little bit of time to do that, but let me tell you, in the long run, totally worth it. So that's what I prefer. Also, I like pretty pens. I use multiple colors on each list. I usually write the list in one color, mark it out in another color, make extra notes in a third color. Also, I will use highlighters, which we'll get to that a little bit. It's not a highlighter, a little bit later. Some people would probably rather make their list in pencil because they can erase mistakes, or if something changes, then they don't have anything marked out. They can just erase. If that's what you prefer, then that's what you should do. There's no right, no wrong, as long as you're doing it. Some people are black and white, like the colors are overwhelming or whatever. That's fine, great, whatever you like, as long as you're gonna use it. I like pens that write smooth, which is a whole other video that I could probably make because I just ordered a bunch of new pens for different purposes. But anyway, so color code them if that helps you, but if you're a black and white person, totally fine too. Just decide. Okay, so that's tip 2. Tip 3, when you make your list, okay, this is where we are getting down to the actual details of your list. To make it effective and make it something that you want to do and that you're going to accomplish and see and stay motivated doing, break those tasks into small, specific chunks, like small, specific bites, I guess I should say. For instance, on my list, people laugh at me and they roll their eyes or think it's just completely ridiculous because when I'm doing laundry, or if I have laundry on my list, I will put wash and dry towels as one task. Then I will put fold and put away towels as another task, okay? Here's my reason for that. If I throw towels in the washer, if I just put on there wash towels, and that is my whole wash, dry, fold, and put away, I am likely to forget that I put towels in there because I've wanted to mark that off. Oh, wash towels, throw them in the washer, exit off. I won't. They may sour in the washer, and then I've got to wash them and sanitize and everything all over again. So no, I don't do that. I put wash and dry. That way I am motivated to take those clothes out, put them in the dryer, hang them up, whatever needs done, so that I can mark that off. And then I put fold and put away separate because sometimes our lives don't allow time for that, especially if it's towels, throw them in a laundry basket, they can be folded later. But at least you've gotten part of that task done. You know, we have clean towels to use. Even if they're not folded and put away, at least you can mark that off your list. You can see that you actually did something and you don't just feel like you've wasted the day and done nothing. So small bites so that you can see. And actually, I've noticed that if I write those out separate, I'm actually more likely to fold and put it away than I am if I just put, you know, do laundry. So it actually works better in my favor because I want to mark another thing off the list. I want to see another X on there. Okay, so small, specific bites. And also, yeah, if it's too big, it might just be overwhelming, so you just won't want to do it. The next tip is do the easy stuff or the fun stuff first. I know there's an old saying, like something like, I don't eat the something first. I don't know. But it's like supposed to be like you do the big thing. Like you do the big thing first, get it out of the way, so then you're not stressed about it and, you know, dreading that task or whatever. There is something to be said about that. If you're the kind of person that is going to stress about that all day long and you want to get that elephant out of the way and then it's smooth sailing after that, if that's the kind of person you are, don't stress about the big thing all day, get it out of the way. That's probably a good thing for you. For me though, I need to start with the small stuff. I'm like, okay, I got some stuff done. So it wasn't like I spent my whole day just doing this one task and I didn't get to anything else. I need to get some of those smaller things done first. So for me, it actually builds motivation to do these little simpler things, and then I will be more motivated to do the big thing. So yeah, I would say the opposite of doing the big thing first is what works for me, but find what works for you. So the next thing would be visit your list often, keep it with you, okay? And that way you're constantly assessing it, you're constantly reminded that you have things, and a good way when you keep it with you and you keep referring to your list, time code or color code things, that's another thing you can do. So like, for instance, something that I might color code, let's see, we'll go with I use erasable highlighters. I've actually just discovered erasable highlighters. I used to just like maybe make a little check out to the side of like, okay, I'm at work. Before I even get home from work, I want to have this, this, and this, and this done. So that might be work is actually one of the things. Read my Bible, I can do that on my break. Pay the water bill, go to the bank. So I have to go to the bank immediately after work if I'm going to the bank, because otherwise it will be closed. The water bill I could drop in a Dropbox, but it's easier if I just do it too. So those are 4 things that I want to have done instead of just, oh, I get off work and rush for home, because everybody wants to go home after work. So what I might do is go through and I will highlight, I'm going to have this done, I'm going to have this done, you know, and whatever else done, which those are the only 2 I have today. And then I can look at that and be like, my time at work's not wasted, because I am still getting, before I get home, I'm going to have these things done. And so then as they're done, go ahead and mark them off. So like today I could have, you know, like, okay, before I go home from work, I'm going to have these 2 items done. And so then that way I don't have to look at the whole list every time. Like if you can take a minute and be like, okay, this is what I can do before this time. Some things are time sensitive, you know, like when I take my niece to tumbling, I know she has to be there at 6:30 or whatever. So I can look at my list and be like when I get home, I can look at it and be like, okay, we have to leave at X time. So what is something quick that I can get done before we have to go? So then I can go ahead and, you know, highlight whatever with a color and be like, okay, these are what I'm going to focus on now. Because I don't write my list in order, because I constantly have to add to it as I think of things to do or as things come up. It's a constant work in progress. My list gets longer throughout the day. So yeah, so color coding when I can do it is helpful for me. Like every time I can sit down and assess, okay, this and this and this is what I can focus on next. And so I just take a highlighter, swipe it through there. Good. Like I said, you don't have to use a highlighter. You can use a pencil. You can use a different color of pen and put a check mark, you know, by it, and then exit when you're done, as long as you have a system that you understand. But just refer to that throughout the day and kind of keep you on track with time. I am a terrible manager of time. Things take longer than I think they're going to. I always think I have time for that one more thing and I don't. So color coding the list really helps, because that helps me focus, like, okay, that's a small thing that can go fast. That's a small thing. Anyway, it's helpful for me. So the next thing is, okay, so actually the last thing, number 7, take time to write it in it each evening and evaluate it. So every evening before you go to bed, take your to-do list, your planner, your goal sheet, whatever you want to call it, and go through and see everything that you did not get done. And is it something that was like, oh, go to my nephew's basketball game? I missed that, okay? So then maybe I wouldn't carry that over to the next day. So you can just draw a line through it or ignore it or whatever, but go through and circle the things that need put on for a different day. So, you know, for instance, my Christmas tree is still up. I left it up for a while on purpose, but it's beyond that now. But like I said, other things have taken priority, something that needs done. So yes, I would move that to the next day. And with stuff like that too, this goes back to, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. When I said put things in smaller bites, you know, break your tasks down. I'm starting with just take the decorations off of the tree, okay? That is going to help me stay organized, because they're all gonna go in one box, one storage tote. That tote can go outside. It's organized. That's all the decorations that go on this Christmas tree. It's done. That way it's not like, oh, gather up every Christmas decoration in the house. It's all in the living room. Now I have to organize and sort it. No, I'm just going to break it into small tasks. That piece is done, and eventually all my Christmas will be put away. So anyway, that is something that I would move from this day. I would circle it, go through. Did I get whites washed? No, so I would circle it, but I know I'm going to need them, so I would move them to the next day. If you know that the next day is not a day that you can accomplish those, put it on the first day that you possibly could. So reevaluate, see how many things you got done. It's feel good. It's a feel good thing to do, because when you start looking like, oh my gosh, I really did a lot today, it keeps you motivated. It keeps you motivated to do more. It gets you excited about doing it again. It's great. And you're gonna have days where you don't accomplish a whole lot. That's okay. Just pick it back up and keep doing it. So anyway, that's my effective ways to use a list. Even my list-hating daughter, now that she is older and she's working and she's going to school and she's a 4-H leader and she helps with different things at church when we have, you know, different special things going on. So she, yeah, she's starting to understand the importance of a list. I haven't quite got her to my level of list making yet, but anyway, nobody has to be, but just realize, just have a positive attitude about it. They are so helpful, so wonderful, and it will keep you motivated. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys again. Hit like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you got any good ideas for this. Do you like lists, hate lists? How do you use your list? Do you color code? Are you simple black and white? How do you do it? Mine aren't all the same. I have my grocery list. It usually stays on one of those magnet list pages on the refrigerator. I do that because if it's there, my family can, if they notice we're low on something or we're out of something that we don't normally buy a lot of, like some seasonings or spices or, you know, something like that, that's not a real common thing that we have to buy a lot, they can jot that down on the list. And so then when I start a big grocery list, I can refer to that and put those things on there. So yeah, not all my lists are the same as my to-do list of goals every day, but yeah, just let me know what works for you. How do you like to make your lists? And I will see you in the next video. I'm not sure what it's gonna be yet. I have lots of ideas. It may be ink pen review. It may be a motivational thing. It may be, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Like I said, I have lots of ideas. Looking forward to upcoming holidays to do videos on. So if that's the sort of content you like, be sure to subscribe. So, bye.